Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Daddy
Daughter.
Dance. My name's Tobin Walsh. Welcome this week, but more importantly than that I'm here is that this is my 10-year-old daughter, Viviana. Say hi to your people, Vivi.
Hey guys.
So Vivi's all fired up about this topic. In fact, so fired up that her research wasn't only looking up the questions that I asked her to look up, she actually spent some time on her own researching this topic. What's the topic today, Viv?
Breast cancer.
Breast cancer. So you can help me out, Vivi. What prompted me to propose this topic to Vivi was what?
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And what seems to be like a visible cue that goes on? Like what makes us think of it? Every October.
Pink.
Pink, yeah. So you start to see pink all over the place. And as a sports fan, and I write about this all the time. I write about sports a lot in regard to kids. As a sports fan, you always see, at least in the last few years, I should have looked this up to see when the NFL really went all in on this pink idea. But basically in October, all the teams like accent all their normal colors with pink stuff. That's the first time I remember a huge organization like that kind of adding to the brand of breast cancer awareness. Can you think of any other times?
No.
Oh, she's looking through her copious notes, folks. She's got a whole pin-up board of notes today, so we better get to it. So breast cancer also provides, so seeing the pink and vibrant pink is really cool. It also is nice that we can connect that pink to a message, but I didn't think Vivi really understood the message much before you did the research, right?
Yep.
Did you know much about breast cancer at all?
I knew something.
Okay, but you kind of know what it is. Obviously, you know the word cancer is associated with sort of a bad illness, right? But other than that, it was kind of like, oh, I know it's pink, and that's pretty fun, right? So this is a good example, parents, if you're listening with your children. It's a seemingly sort of heavy topic that I think kids are sort of naturally curious about, right? They see the pink and kind of think, oh, that's cool, breast cancer. What is that? Oh, I don't know. Let's go talk about it.
What is pink for in October?
Right, and the interesting part is, from the NFL all the way down to my son's, 12-year-old Pee Wee football team does pink stuff. So this idea of pink is really permeated through society, which is like kudos for the cause of breast cancer awareness, because that's what the month of October is supposed to be. All this pink wants to bring to the forefront the awareness of the disease breast cancer, right?
Breast cancer, yes.
So what do we research here? Let's go through a couple things like we usually do. If you're new to the show, what we typically do is pick a topic. We sort of go through it in a real fun way together. We analyze it both as a parent, talking to our children like I would, and as a kid, what Vivi understands about it. I usually hand out some research for Vivi, and then we do fun stuff associated with learning about in this case, breast cancer.
Sometimes I don't even do the research because I'm too busy.
Yeah, she's
Or I'm
awfully
too
busy.
lazy.
I'm just sitting around doing nothing. You're really busy.
You're the one researching a whole page of notes. I have these 3 little pages of notes, not even 3 because 2.5.
Okay, so let's do this. So what did you figure out why what I was interested in, I know a lot about breast cancer, I think. I didn't know much about why this whole pink thing happened. Did you figure that out? Okay, let it rip. Let's see. Let it help our audience.
So the question he told me to research was why pink? Why pink as the official color of the breast cancer awareness?
Yeah, so why basically exactly what I just asked. Why does pink exist as a symbol of breast cancer awareness?
I googled it. There wasn't much information, so I googled the one that made sense the most.
Yeah, and what was it?
It is used bringing emphasis to the cause across countries.
Okay, so basically.
And then also it makes you like happiness and like it like.
Yeah, like pink. Pink historically.
And bright. You're like.
Yeah,
bright.
pink is historically like I bet if you ask somebody to describe pink, you'd say soothing and bright and vibrant. Just like what you're describing. The other interesting part of what Vivi just said, and I'm impressed with your research, Vivi, thank you, is that not only is it the symbol of breast cancer awareness in America, she said worldwide. So other people around the globe get behind this cause under the pink umbrella. That's pretty cool. So let's go one by one. So first of all, let's clear some things up. So the pink that's in as a symbol that you see in pink ribbons and pink everything now, pink socks for NFL players and pink headbands and pink everything, right? Pink pom-poms for the cheer squad. is a symbol that I think it dates back to an organization that you'll hear of today if you do breast cancer research. It does tons of good. It's from Susan G. Komen. And what they used to do is run this thing called the Race for a Cure. So that started in 1983.
Yeah.
Right. It was in 1983 they started this race, a running race, and apologies, I don't know how long it was, but basically that formed as a way for people with breast cancer to come together who had survived breast cancer. And at that time, all the survivors were given pink ribbons to wear. And that's where this whole pink thing comes in. So if you research pink as a sign of, or as a symbol of breast cancer research, almost inevitably you'll get this Susan G. Komen Foundation. And today, that one race in 1983 has grown to, I think they said 150 some odd races in, more than just the United States. There's like 19 countries represented. So it's this small organization that's made this huge, meaningful difference in the world of breast cancer.
Are you talking about organizations for breast cancer?
Yeah. So
Wait, I have a cup.
Okay. So I said Susan G. Komen is kind of the founder of this pink movement. Everybody else has latched on, rightfully so, and the brand has really taken off. Vivi, what other organizations did you find?
This is my favorite one. I got 3, but this is my 3rd one. But you know what? My first one was first, but then my 2nd one was last, and then my 3rd one was 2nd. I'm so confused.
Okay. How about you just say them?
It's first, breast cancer. Saying it wrong. California breast cancer.
Okay.
And then, number 2, it's breastcancer.org.
Okay, yep, that's one I know.
Number 3 is my favorite one, the Pink Fund.
Oh, the Pink Fund, yeah. So all these organizations not only lead fundraising efforts, because when they take money in, Vivi, for these organizations, they fund research that helps the next group of people that may be diagnosed, okay?
Yeah.
So let's go, so those are the organizations, way to go, Viv. So let's go one by one. Let's first let's get a little bit nerdy, like we usually do when I'm in charge. And let's talk about just breast cancer. So no one knows what causes breast cancer. Did you research that? Or did you come across that at all? So there's no particular cause, right? So lung cancer, typically they say don't smoke. There's other cancers where you can connect them to other activities. Breast cancer, it's not like that. It's just an unknown deviation or damaging of DNA that causes this, primarily in women. So that's kind of interesting. There's some wives' tales out there, Vivi. What do you think of this? Breast cancer, the Susan G. Komen Foundation had what breast cancer is not caused by. Listen to this list: caffeine, deodorant, microwaves, or cell phones. So there must be common wives' tales, they call them, or myths.
Microwaves? Why does microwave matter?
Well, people have that idea that like the waves that microwaves use, or like cell phone waves for processing Bluetooth information, is somehow detrimental to our health. And the research doesn't support it, but typically people get scared of that stuff. Caffeine, yeah. Whatever. Now what are leading indicators though, which basically aren't causes directly, but they contribute to the prevalence of this. So if you have a family history of breast cancer, so let's say mom's mom or mom's grandmother died of breast cancer 20 years ago, she would be at a high risk for developing breast cancer. The other thing too is there's other health choices or bad health choices that contribute to the frequency of breast cancer.
So if my mom got breast cancer, I probably would get it too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's typical in cancers. I think that most cancers, colon cancer is one that comes up, and there's certain demographics that it affects more than others. In fact, Vivi, why don't you talk about, are guys impacted? So we always think of breast cancer in women. Can guys get breast cancer?
Yes, but it's very rare to get.
So clearly, guys can get breast cancer, but cool, very infrequently compared to women.
1,000 men, like it says, so if this is my own way of saying it, if 1,000 men stand in line, there would be only one person out of those 1,000 men to have breast cancer.
Okay, that's interesting. That's a way, 1/10 of 1%. So let's go through the facts. That's actually a great segue, Vivi. Thank you for doing that. So guys can get cancer, but let's go through the statistics and why this thing is so big, right? Because we figured out why pink is a symbol. We figured out where that came from.
And guess what? I have something cool. I googled what is the color of men's breast cancer ribbon.
Oh, okay.
And it was blue and pink.
Oh, okay.
Which is amazing.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's not so feminine with the pink. But the pink is a symbol of breast cancer, but for the guy's version, it's a little bit blue.
Yeah.
That's
It
kind
was
of
like
neat.
half blue.
I like it.
Because I saw a picture, it's half blue and half pink.
But really, when people think of breast cancer, they're undoubtedly thinking about female breast cancer. I would say most of the time. And you know why, Vivi? It's because the stats are really staggering. Okay, listen to this, all right? So I'm just gonna like rip off like 5 stats that just, I swear to God, when I was researching this, just one by one, I just was like, oh my gosh. Because seriously, these stats are amazingly big and important.
What does stats mean?
Stats means statistics, which means the numbers that support the need for this to change. So let's do this. It'll be very clear that I'm reciting numbers when I hear this. 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer. 1 in 8. Like, think about this, baby.
And then 1 in 1,000 for men.
Yeah. Well, think of 1 in 8. 1 in 8. So if you think about your brother Lyndon's soccer team has 16 kids. There's just 16 moms. 2 moms on Lyndon's soccer team will, by statistics, develop breast cancer. That's crazy. Think of how frequently that is.
That's weird.
It's nuts. In 2019, there's 320,000 new cases in women. 62% of those diagnosed with breast cancer are diagnosed at localized stages, and we'll get to why that's important. And 42,000 women will die of breast cancer this year. 42,000 women dead. That's crazy.
You can die from breast cancer?
You can die from breast cancer, most certainly. Here's the deal.
There's a teacher at our school that has breast cancer.
Really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what my friend told me.
Well, listen, so all these organizations, the ones that Vivi researched, Susan G. Komen, the ones that support cancer research and breast cancer grants, they're doing that, Vivi, because what they've discovered is the earlier they catch this breast cancer in women, the more successful they are treating it. So if they catch this at what's called localized stages, now remember, 62% of those diagnosed will be at localized stages, 99% of the time they'll survive. So it's almost like a certainty. If you catch it early enough, you'll survive.
And if you catch it like late in your life, you won't?
Well, it doesn't matter. So that doesn't mean age, like in terms of if you're 60 or you're 40. Localized means it hasn't spread. So it's basically the age of the cancer in your body, regardless of your age.
Yeah.
So let's say the cancer started 10 years before. You know, if you're 25 or if you're 45, it doesn't matter. Just that you caught it early. So basically, all this stuff for breast cancer awareness is really aimed at getting in front of women and some men to say, detect it early, and you can do so. How do you think you would detect breast cancer? I mean, you're not a doctor. How are you going to detect breast cancer?
I don't know.
You don't know? And this is where it gets a little bit dicey to talk to kids about, guys, because there is some sort of anatomy lessons that have to go on, and you can, measure your kid's readiness for this, because I'm sure there'll be a couple of giggles that come from here.
Don't tell me.
So first of all, no, we're going to talk about it so people learn. No, it's not a big deal. So first of all, I think it's important to know to see your doctor regularly, right? Like, you always go to the doctor because we sort of have to for school.
And for your birthday.
Yeah, so basically on your birthday every year you get a physical. But as you get older, have you noticed how much I go to the doctor?
You go
Not very often.
not once a year maybe.
Maybe.
Not even.
So I'm not very good at it. And for your mother and people that are susceptible to breast cancer, like every woman is at middle age, it's really critical that they go to the doctor to get an exam. Because typically, breast cancer at its earliest form can be detected by what's called self-exams, which is basically feeling around on your boobs.
Ew.
Yeah, see?
That's weird.
But I mean, it's true. It's good to talk about that when a woman is ready to do so and they have the anatomy to do so. It's very important to prevent these cases of breast cancer, to really check them out and make sure everything's good. Or go to a doctor and do the same. Because typically what happens is they feel something abnormal and they go to the doctor to do a test, and then they can either confirm or deny that they have breast cancer. And if you catch it early enough, you basically always survive. Does that make sense? So, it's not bad to do some introspection and some self-inspection, right?
Yeah.
Even for guys. So inspect yourself and then go to the doctor if anything's wrong, right?
Yeah.
Sound good? Okay.
Wait. Stop.
Okay.
I'm going to take over the podcast.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to ask you questions and you have to answer them.
So Vivi went above and beyond today and got some questions on her own, so let's go.
I want to be in charge today. Okay. So, first question. You saw mine, right? Is there a cure for breast cancer?
It's sort of a loaded question because the typical treatments that I read about.
What are the cures?
The cures are breast removal, surgery. There's chemotherapy or radiation that you can do.
Is that medical procedures?
Yeah, procedure.
So medication, surgery, medical procedure. There's something else.
Well, I think that's why this early detection thing is such a big deal. That's why October happens, because they want people to detect it early so they can see the doctor to figure out what they're going to do.
Okay.
Because some people just have surgery and then it's over. Other people have to do chemotherapy and stuff.
I'm telling you, this is what I'm going to answer, okay?
Okay.
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 Okay. You can have surgery, but I googled, can you have surgery to fix breast cancer? It said it had to be really bad, spreading around your body.
Okay.
If you have to have surgery to get it removed.
Well, I wonder if, I don't know how it works. I didn't do that research to see like what's the first line of defense. I'm imagining that they don't want to do surgery unless they absolutely have to, right? Right?
And then, how many people got diagnosed with breast cancer in 2012?
Oh, 2012.
Take a good guess. And don't look at my paper.
I don't know. Well, let's compare it. In 2019, they said there's 320,000. So in 2012, it had to be a lot more.
Yes.
Go ahead. How many?
1.7 million.
Seriously?
Yes.
1.7 million 7 years ago and 320,000 today. Wow. That's astounding. Okay. Anything else you want to ask me?
What is breast cancer place for the most popular cancer in the world?
What do you mean by popular?
So like the most like usual like
Frequent?
like you see
Like, what's-
most. You see most.
Oh, the most frequently diagnosed? Jeez, that's got to be up there, right? Fourth?
You looked at
No,
my
I
paper.
didn't.
Yes, you did. You looked at my paper.
I swear to
He
God.
cheated. He cheated.
swear.
Yeah, it's number 4.
I swear
The
on your
first-
mother, I didn't cheat. I swear.
Okay. The first is lung cancer, which
Okay.
I can see.
Yeah,
this.
good one. What's the next one? Did you write them all down or no?
No, I only wrote the fourth one, which is breast cancer.
Breast cancer's number 4, lung cancer number 1. Okay. Well, man,
Bladder cancer was number 3.
Ooh, that sounds awful. Well, no matter if you're talking about breast cancer or whatever cancer, we don't want to make light of the fact that it's a very serious situation.
Yes, it is.
So, like when you talk to your parents, Vivi, this is an interesting question. When you talk to your parents about serious stuff like this, like the way we talked about it today, would that be helpful?
Yes.
Like, do you feel like more assured about your knowledge now, if somebody ever says it? And I think that's important for parents. I think sometimes we want to shield our kids from these sort of conversations that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Even talking about boobs might be a little uncomfortable. But you gotta do it, right?
So I misread my dad's question, and I put a different answer. I'm like, Dad, I don't feel comfortable talking about this.
Okay. Well, I mean, but like everything, right? That doesn't have, there are some poor endings, right? 42,000 women will lose their lives this year to this disease. So their awareness in October is well served, right? And whenever you wear pink, if anybody ever asks you why the pink is or what you're symbolizing, I hope that everybody says it's for breast cancer awareness, and everybody should go to the doctor and make sure they're all right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So now that everybody knows and your kids
Wait,
know.
one more question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can kids get breast cancer? I don't know this question either. I'm just
I did look at this a little bit, and it seems to be very,
rare.
very rare. Like, I think the earliest case I saw was like 14. The other thing to note before we leave, and we're getting to the end of the segment here, is that there's a huge imbalance that needs to be addressed in socioeconomic and in African Americans. So African Americans are 40% more likely to die if diagnosed with breast cancer. So imagine 1 in 8 women in the United States is diagnosed with breast cancer. If you're African American, you're 40% more likely to pass away from the disease. That's got to change. That's got to change. So all the research is well warranted.
Why would that be? I'm wondering.
There's a lot of theories. We won't get into it today, but the economics show that that it's just more tough. It's tougher going at the disease as an African American woman, and that's really unfortunate. It shouldn't be. So it's not like this, because 99% survival rate, I think people are a bit lulled to sleep, Vivi, where they think, oh, they don't need any more money, almost everybody survives. No, that's not the case. There's pockets of people that really need the money, and this October Awareness Month serves as a good reminder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you all informationed up about breast cancer? And somebody asks you why you wear pink, you know what to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it up. Thank you
breast cancer.
Yeah, so now you know what October is all about. Not just Halloween, but about breast cancer awareness. We thank you for joining us. We do this every week. If you like what you see, let us know in comments or subscribe to our channel. For now, for Vivi, for me, thank you for joining the Daddy
Daughter
Dance. Take care, everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.